We've made it to Thursday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni, and this is Nicole Buckman.
Are you sure you're Taylor and I'm not? We're like the same person. We're twins, right? We have Red on today, but no, it's a great Thursday, even though it is kind of that rainy. But there's so many great things that are happening today. Of course, on Studio 10, that's when we're kicking off the telethon for Make an Impact.
Yeah.
Woo-woo, Anne's dancing over there.
Get started at 3 o'clock today with Studio 10.
Yes, that's right. So that's when we're going to have those numbers to call so that way you can donate and get more and support the Champions of the Heart Foundation and get those AEDs and get the CPR training to those that need it so that way we can continue to make a difference. But there's going to be lots of special guests over in our call center. I think we've been talking about who's all going to be there and what you can get to if you donate with certain basketballs signed by Mr. Izzo.
There you go. You got to make a pretty nice donation, let me tell you.
Yeah, but obviously all for a great cause that continues to make an impact everywhere. So
saving lives.
Saving lives, yes. That is a big impact. But anyway, we're going to be having that start and kick off the show. Claudia will be in there interviewing Mike as well as some volunteers. And then, too, we also have the sheriff, Scott Wigglesworth, coming in on the show. We're going to chat with him because obviously his deputy was on scene during this life-saving moment with Mike. So it's kind of this whole full story, and we'll be chatting with a little bit of everyone. But yeah, big part of our show today. That's why we're kind of wearing red with the Make an Impact at the heart, chatting about that. But also we're wearing red because I feel like red is kind of one of the colors that you think of when you think of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have you ever seen that?
I have not, but I've heard great things about it where I'm like, Taylor, you need to go see that at some point. Yeah, so it's like a very, people call it one of those cult movies that wasn't supposed to be good, but it's so bad people just kept on watching it. That is what Rocky Horror Picture Show is. Right. And so it's one of those that there's call and repeats. People do big showings around this time of year. Well, it's happening. They're actually going to put this to the stage at Riverwalk Theater. So we're going to have the cast joining us, and it's going to be 2 casts this year. That's how many showings there are, even at midnight. So we'll be chatting with them, how you can see it, how you can have this interactive audience, be an interactive audience member. Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, they might even show us the Time Warp, which is an iconic dance from that movie and musical. So lots of fun there. And the spooks continue too because Claudia is talking about kind of more of an artistic haunted house that you can see over in Jackson. Okay. It's more 3D art, which is kind of fun. Yeah. Because sometimes haunted houses can be scary. So we like this. We like the pop outs. We like the spooks. But it's nice when it's you can appreciate it. And this is done by a local man too. So we are spotlighting that, and hopefully we're not too scared.
That would be pretty scary.
Yes, exactly. But it's a great show for you. Definitely tune in and definitely be a part of it all because you can make an impact and also kind of be entertained and set some plans for the rest of the spooky season.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
All coming up at 3 o'clock today. Here's where you can stay connected, of course, with Studio 10. There you go. Those are their socials, and I am not seeing their YouTube page, but hey, it's the same social. At WILX Studio 10 is where you want to go for all of that. So, again, the phone banks opened up at 3 o'clock today with Studio 10. Make sure you go check it out because it is really helping towards a great cause, and we'll touch more on that in just a little bit here. But something else we want to touch on right now is all the wet and rainy conditions, Colton.
Yeah, not the best looking day.
Nope.
To say the least, but yeah, I was trying to find some good news next week.
There you go.
Next week we'll warm up, but next couple of days are going to be tough, especially as we get into the weekend. Everyone's watching the forecast for the big football game on Saturday. If you are going to the game, I think you are a trooper because the weather is just not looking great for the game at this point, as it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Going to be a bit breezy.
Yep. It's going to be a night game.
And there could be some rain. Well, and who knows what the score might be for some fans out there and alumni. So, yes, we'll kind of talk about that in more detail moving forward. But I want to start with what we're seeing outside right now. And that is that we're seeing some rain that's coming down in parts of mid-Michigan. Currently, it hasn't rained all day. But as we move into the afternoon, I would suspect that this rain is going to become a little bit more widespread, and we will see more of this through the next several hours. So if you have any Thursday night plans tonight, any football games going on later tonight, I do think that you'll need the rain gear because we will see some more showers move on in. And you can see right now that we're seeing our next batch of showers move through mid-Michigan. So just kind of one of those days, gloomy looking outside, low clouds, some drizzles, some rain coming down from time to time, and we're not going to see that change anytime soon over the next several hours. Now, temperatures did manage still to get into the middle 50s. We're at 56 right now in Lansing, 54 in Jackson, a little bit cooler once you get further to the east. But bottom line here, we're all in the 50s, and we're not going to see our temperatures move too much either throughout the rest of the day. So looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, again, look what happens. We just see that rain continue throughout the evening, just some showers that are moving through, not terribly heavy, as they make their way through, and we'll see more of this into tonight. It probably won't be until tomorrow morning that a lot of this begins to move out, but there still is a chance for rain on Friday, just a few scattered showers though, so it's not going to be anything as widespread as what we saw out there today, but still expecting more rain that's possible on Friday. We'll see a brief break in the rain, I think, late Friday into early Saturday, and then another system's going to come in, and that's going to bring us another chance of seeing some rain as we head into Saturday. So here it is. Now, I didn't put 100% chance, even though it has been raining today. That's just because it hasn't been raining all day, so I just kind of left it at 90. But 40% for tomorrow, and then 60%. So we bump up a little bit on Saturday, and that is thanks to our next storm system that's going to come in. Of course, everyone's watching Saturday's forecast because of the football game in East Lansing. So here's what we can expect. So this is one of our computer models. It's been very consistent. This is the European computer model, if you're wondering.
Oh, interesting.
So as we go throughout Saturday, I'm going to pause this early in the morning. So we may or may not be seeing some rain at that time. But watch what happens. I'm going to play this through the rest of the day on Saturday. Watch what happens. There it is.
Boy.
So this is 7 p.m. and we have some showers around. So I think tailgating will be affected by some rain, and possibly even the game itself will be impacted by some rain on Saturday. And now, not all of our computer models are showing this. Some of our models have this getting out of here soon, sooner than this. So by 5 o'clock, it shuts the rain down, and we could be dry at that point. But other models like this one and some other models are saying that it's going to be raining around the time the game gets underway. So my advice would be, if you're going to be heading to the MSU game, pack the rain gear with you, pack the winter coats with you. It's going to be cold, and possibly rainy as well. So I believe my next graphic, if it'll...
There you go.
Yeah, is the forecast. Now, I left the rain for the tailgate. However, I do think that we may have to bring some rain chances towards kickoff. It probably won't rain the entire game, but I don't think it really matters at that point because it's going to be so cold with temperatures dropping down into the 40s. You also don't have the sun. I'm not painting a very pretty picture.
Nope.
But obviously, if you are a big fan or a big alumni of these two schools, you'll be out there no matter what. So just make sure that you dress warm, have the rain gear, winter coats, all that kind of stuff for the Michigan State game. And I'll leave you with this. It's not all bad news from the weather department, because next week it does look like we'll see a pretty big warm-up, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, middle 60s. Some models want to bring us into the 70s, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's a tricky forecast next week, though, because there will be some sort of frontal boundary that kind of sets up over the region. If we are south of that, warm weather. If we end up north of it, not warm weather.
Oh, boy.
So depending on where that front sets up, we'll have to see. And there's also going to be some chances for some rain next week as well. But it does look like, I would say, by next weekend, as we wrap up the month of October, soon,
Wow.
we are going to be seeing some very cold air, probably some of the coldest air of the entire season. I didn't put the graphic in there, but again, we're still watching that freeze potential for Sunday night into Monday. Likely some of the coldest temperatures coming since the late April coming Sunday night. So chilly, but there is a little bit of a warm up next week. But we may see even a bigger cool down by next weekend.
So, quick question for you. When it comes to Halloween plans, because again, October is coming to an end pretty quickly. I know we're October 19th. Wow. I still have to get a costume. But anyways, people probably want to dress warm for that, especially if we're dipping into those cold temperatures. I know it doesn't show it on the 10-day temperature trend quite yet, but do you think that Halloween will be pretty chilly?
The end of the month is trending cold at this point, but obviously things can change. It's so far out. But at this point, it does look like, if I were to say anything, it looks like a cold Halloween.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's still a ways out. But I will say is that today NOAA did just release its winter outlook for this upcoming season. And if you are not a fan of the bad winters, this may or may not be a bad winter. So they're forecasting a higher likelihood of seeing above average temperatures and below normal precipitation for the Great Lakes region.
Well, that can always be bad news too. But
yeah, yeah. Some people rely on the snow for businesses and whatnot. So we'll see how that shapes out. This is a strong El Nino winter coming up here. So that typically does lead to warmer and less snowy winters for us. But we'll see. Things can change, and there have been El Ninos where that has not been the case. So
that's true.
We'll see what ends up happening. But that just got released today, so I wanted to share that. I should have put it in the graphic, but I forgot. But
well, hey, that's okay. We get there when we get there. We're still in the little fall season right now.
We're in the fall season. Yeah. Meteorological winter will start on December 1st, but we're still away.
That's always interesting, too, when you guys point out when the actual seasons break up.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else you want to add about the temperature trend?
Nope.
Okay.
Warm up coming next week. So if you're not a fan, just keep an eye on next week.
Better enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, to track all of the rain chances happening today, the rest of this week, especially for the game, and then talking about your Halloween plans, you probably want to get the First Alert Weather app.
Yeah, and even if you're going to be going to the game, it's going to be a useful tool that you can use to watch the radar, temperatures, and all that stuff, and get forecast updates for the game itself. So there are lots of useful things in there, so you can use it even if you're staying local or not local, because we'll keep you updated.
All right, thank you, Colton. There you go, absolutely free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. Go download the First Alert Weather app. There you go. I do want to share what is coming up during our 90 minutes of news today, so we're going to pull that up here, starting with First at 4 in Mid-Michigan Matters. As you heard Nicole saying, starting at 3 o'clock today is when our phone bank opens for our Make an Impact campaign, helping out Champions of the Heart. And then, as you see, coming up on First at 4, we sit down with Ingham County Sheriff Scott Rigglesworth to talk about the impact of Champions of the Heart. And you're seeing right there, News 10 at 5. And Emmerich will sit down with Mike Garland, speaking about his experience last year going into cardiac arrest. Again, she had a great story on him, so if you want to check that out, that is on championsoftheheart.net. Coming up, News 10 at 5:30, hundreds of mayors are gathering in Washington to discuss ideas and problems cities that across the country are facing. So we'll tell you more about what Lansing Mayor Andy Shore is hoping to learn from it. Coming up on News 10 at 6, hear from MSU basketball coach Tom Izzo on why our Make an Impact campaign is so important to him and how you can get involved. Again, Mike Garland is a retired Michigan State University assistant basketball coach, so him and Tom Izzo have quite the relationship, and we'll go more into that again coming up on News 10 at 6. You're going to see a very familiar face standing right next to me.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I just pushed the wrong thing. Here we go.
All good. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty well. How are you doing today?
I'm
Were you
good.
dry from the rain?
I was dry from the rain,
Okay.
but we've got, I personally got a whole bunch coming up for you guys. So on News 10 at 5:30, again, we're talking about Make an Impact. Today I'm going to walk you guys through the differences between cardiac arrest and a heart attack. What are the differences between the two, kind of the signs, the symptoms.
Because there is a difference.
Yes, there are different. A heart attack can cause cardiac arrest, and so that's kind of why a lot of people can get confused on the two. People kind of think they're interchangeable, but they're not. And there are two separate things you want to do if somebody around you suffers either of the symptoms. So we're going to walk you through what to do if you're around somebody who experiences both cardiac arrest and a heart attack. Again, coming up, News 10 at 5:30. We're talking about that for Champions of the Heart, trying to raise money to purchase more AEDs and give more people CPR training. And part of the reason it's so important is actually if you have cardiac arrest, sudden cardiac arrest, and you're not in a hospital, there's only a 10% survival rate.
Yeah.
And, bystanders, in the case of Coach Garland, saved his life and could save other people's lives. So they want to get more ADs out into the community just in case, because it can happen to anybody at any time. And so they want...
in seconds, and you only have minutes.
Yes. And they want AEDs all over the community, just in case. And they want everyone to be trained in CPR, just in case. So if you, tune in, maybe you can save a life, just like other people saved Coach Garland's life.
You never know who might need saving or when you need it. So just to have those life-saving measures and all those tools under your belt, that's really helpful.
It's huge. And then, kind of switching gears, News 10 at 6 o'clock, we are going to be talking about our mental health campaign, You Are Not Alone. For this series, for this month, we're talking about cyber mental health.
Okay.
And, I know a lot of us, we're on social media these days. We're seeing lots of altered pictures. There's Photoshop. There's a lot of things like that, filters, the Snapchat filters, Instagram filters.
AI.
Yeah. And so I spoke with a woman who, seeing kind of people's highlight reels and seeing those people with those filters and people with the ideal body, right? I do quotations because what is the ideal body? She actually developed an eating disorder because of some of the stresses that social media put her under. So News 10 at 6, I talked to her. She's a mid-Michigan woman, talked to her about her experience, how she recovered, and then a local therapist as well who kind of specializes or deals with those things on a day-to-day basis to get some tips for staying, mentally safe and okay while you're surfing on the web and social media and whatnot.
Well, the thing with social media, again, when you have the ideal body, again, I'll use those air quotes like you did, because what is the ideal body? I feel like it depends on the person, what you're going for, and everyone's health looks different. And so what looks healthy for you might look different for somebody else. And so to try to be someone else, no, you're yourself, be content with that. But it's hard. It's hard in the world that we're in because you're seeing so many different things.
Yeah, and me personally, I've struggled with those things too. You go on social media, everybody looks beautiful, and good for them, but it makes me feel like, I got to put a little extra makeup on or something like that. But no, it's a heavy topic, impacts a lot of people, but there is a little hopeful time at the end. She talks about her journey with self-love and how she was able to overcome that eating disorder. So it's really powerful stuff, and if you're struggling with those things as well, be sure to tune in News 10 at 6.
News 10 at 6, and for the Make an Impact, you have that coming up on
News 10 at 5:30. Yes.
10 at 5:30. All right. Thank you, Erin. I'm going to pull this up one more time. Awesome. There we go. So You're Not Alone Mental Health Series. Again, Erin has it coming up News 10 at 6. So there you go. If you scan that QR code on the right side of your screen, it'll pull up a list of resources, whether it's for you, someone else. There are so many different kinds of resources, no matter what you're looking for. So go check that out right there and know that you're not alone. Another thing that you can do, call the Lifeline chat at 988. Again, that number is 988. I have some comments coming down here. We have Michael Mitchell. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thank you for everything you guys do. I'm from Portland. That's awesome. Michael, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're having a great day, staying dry from all the rain we have. Again, grab that umbrella. Let's see here. Holly says, no, I want snow. I know we do need the snow. I will say we're in Michigan. You want all the 4 seasons. And like Colton was saying, people rely on those jobs, so it's important. Chris says, hi from East Lansing. Hope you're having a great day, Chris. And you said, why are we talking about snow? It's not season yet. I agree. Let's enjoy what we have right now. We'll worry about it when we get there. But Holly, I will say, when we get there, let's hope we have snow, especially to have a white Christmas. But I will move on from that. Again, if you want any further weather updates, you can go to the First Alert Weather app. And, oh, wait, that is not the First Alert Weather app, but that's Studio 10 if you want to tune in. They're coming up soon. Here is the First Alert Weather app. So make sure you go check that out. I appreciate all of the comments coming in today. This is so fun to interact with all of you guys. We do have more coming up on, or during our 90 minutes of news today. We have Mars out in the field, so we're going to see what he's up to.
Mars Anderson right here in Jackson at the Consumers Energy headquarters, where the company has received $100 million from the U.S. Department of Energy to improve its infrastructure and provide more reliable service. Now, what does that exactly mean for customers? Well, I'll have more on that in our 90 minutes of news.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Mars, for sharing what you have coming up today. Just checking for any more comments. I think we're good for now. But one more thing that I do want to show. Again, we were talking about our Make an Impact campaign today here at News 10. Begins at 3 o'clock with Studio 10. That's when the phone banks open. We're welcoming in any monetary donations you may have. And for those generous donations, I will say there's a very nice gift, if you want to say, or a thank you. So some basketball signed from head coach Tom Izzo. There you go. You'll have to see how much it is. But tune into Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today in just under 40 minutes. So you can go check that out and learn much more. And then again, we'll have more coming up during First at 4. And of course, our 90 minutes of news. Ann Emmerich again is sitting down with Coach Mike Garland, retired MSU basketball assistant coach Mike Garland, coming up on News 10 at 5. We're going to have much more coming up throughout our newscast. Again, Erin was just on saying she'll have more coming up News 10 at 5:30. So just make sure you're tuning in today throughout our 90 minutes of news. Such a great cause and really helping those lives. But I'll stop talking about it. There's 2 people who can really share the impact of this cause today.
Hey, Mike, it's been over 40 years you and I have been together. but you have now taken on a foundation that maybe is your best accomplishment ever. Tell me a little bit about it.
Absolutely, Tom. And first of all, me and Cynthia really appreciate your support in what we're trying to do to save more lives by getting more hands on hearts. And it's so important that we get the word out that lives can be saved if we have enough hands to get on hearts to get those victims through that 4-minute timely segment that they have to have someone there to actually start their heart up again like I had those two guys.
Well, you're a walking miracle if you ask me, and I'm so thankful for the men that saved you, but I'm really thankful now that, like you've done my entire life with you, you're trying to make sure other people get help like you get help. And I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of Cynthia. A lot of people hide behind that. You've stepped forward, you've told your story, and now you want results on how we can make this world a better place.
Well, Tom, what I'm doing, I'm following your lead, and it's been all about people ever since I've been here coaching with you. And you know what? That's what we're doing with this foundation.
Well, I got a feeling there's another national championship right around the corner, and it's the championship of the Heart Foundation that you started.
All right, you just heard Tom Izzo and Mike Garland speaking on the importance of Champion of the Heart. That video is going to restart. My apologies. I do want to share more on championsoftheheart.net, so I'm going to take you to that website right now. You're taking a look at it, and this is the home page. As you can see, there's multiple different little tools up there, options. So if you scroll down, right here is the story that Ann Emmerich did 1 year ago, about a year ago, with retired Michigan State University assistant coach Mike Garland. There he is. And so he went into a cardiac arrest. He was dead for 18 minutes. If it weren't for two Good Samaritans and, of course, local law enforcement with the Ingham County Sheriff's Office, he would not be here today. So here's where you can go to register for CPR training. You're taking a look at it right there. Scroll down a little bit. They had an event October 16th, so you'll have to check back for more events. You can learn how to donate. You can also see their About page. So there you go. The mission right there, again, is to provide those AED, automated external defibrillators, as well as that CPR training to communities around us. You just keep clicking through that, and you'll see all of this. So him and his wife, Cynthia, right here, lovely people. They helped create Champions of the Heart. So feel free to contact them. But again, this is our mission today here on News 10, to make an impact, to help Champions of the Heart, and to help save lives. Thank you so much for joining the News 10 Plus desk. Again, Studio 10 comes up in just over half an hour, followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Go hit those phone banks when they open at 3 o'clock today. It ends at 6:30. Have a great one, everybody.